So, bro, in 1 week, I will get back to school, and I hope what I was saying in this video will help you in your self improvement journey, because I don't know if I'm the only person experiencing this. And I honestly, bro, don't know when this video is gonna be posted, like at all, but I'm just like sharing my feelings with you, sharing how I feel with you about this topic of like the school system, right? So I have 1 week until I get into school. And the thing about school is every single year, I'm telling you, every single year since like first grade, right? Before I got into school, like that period, right? Where you're in like the summer vacation and like it's almost ending, you have like 1 or 2 weeks left until you get back into school, and you're remembering like how school is like hard for you and it sucks. And I'm gonna be honest, like I finished 10th grade and I'm going into grade 11, right? I'm still in high school, I'm still 16, and I got that feeling very, very strongly this year especially. So I, analyzed myself, and I kept, looking back, like, why do I always worry about this? Or why do I always just hate going back to school? And why not just me, millions and millions of young men hate going back to school? And I journaled about this a lot and thought about this a lot. And here's what I found about myself personally, right? Is that then it just clicked for me that for basically most of my school years, right, I realized that I was always, like for most of the time, right, probably even like most days, I would get kicked out, I would get suspended, I would get in detention. I was like in school terms a troublemaker, right? And it would sound like very nice if I told you that I'm this like peaceful kid who doesn't do any problems, who sits and listens to the orders, but I was never that kid, ever. And the thing is, like, I am in an American school in the Middle East, right? So I would get kicked out basically for the stupidest reasons ever. Like I would get kicked out for like, I don't know if like in Europe and in America and in other schools they do this, but at least in the Middle East they do this a lot, especially in like American schools, is I would just like even just speak to my friend who's beside me, just say a word and I get kicked out. Or like I would just like say like a joke to my friend and he would laugh and I would get kicked out. Or I would like laugh at something a bit loud and I would get kicked out. Anything, literally like anything that expresses your personality, you get kicked out for and you get punished for, and you even get sometimes suspended for. Like I actually remember one time, and this was actually in 9th grade, like 2 years ago, right? I went into history class and there was this teacher, right? And this teacher hated me, by the way. She hated the hell out of me because I would, like, she would call it like I would make problems, but I'm just calling it I'm expressing my personality, right? But one time the teacher said like, you have a test on Monday, and I just made like a joke out of it to my friends. But the thing is, my friends laughed out loud, and on that day the teacher took me to the principal's office and I got suspended for 3 days. Imagine that, bro, 3 days. I got suspended because I was expressing my personality. And the thing is, I remember this vividly. Like I sat in like the detention room. They have this like detention room where you sit like and you reflect on what you did wrong, which is not even anything, right? And you just sit. And I just felt so much guilt and shame. Like, why did I have to say that joke? But the thing is, the truth is, and when I look at it when I got older, right, is that all I did was I was just expressing my personality. I was just being a teen, a human, right? Like, the thing is, and I know like a lot of young men like feel this. We feel a lot of guilt, or at least for me, right? But I felt so much guilt and shame for telling jokes, for talking to my friends in class, which is actually a very healthy thing. for laughing out loud. Like, you know, when you look at the science, right? Laughing is literally the best cure for anything, for depression, for anxiety, for any sickness you have. Like, even, you know, like people who have cancer, they show them like funny videos so they can laugh, so they can bear the pain of cancer. And actually laughing strengthens your immune system. Something like, so that's joking, something like talking to your friends. Like a good personality and communication is literally the greatest skill of all. And literally, like, especially in like business, and if you want to build like a personal brand like this, or you want to build a business, you have to communicate. You have to communicate, you have to be charismatic, you have to have like a good personality, right? But the school system punishes us for that. The school system destroys our God-given gifts. Like, you talking to your friends, or you know, joking, or you having fun in the class, or you being happy, that's a gift from God, and the school system punishes us for that, right? This is masculine energy. Me and you, we got punished. We got punished for like fighting with our friends, play fighting with our friends, right? We got punished for speaking to each other. We got punished for joking with each other. Masculine things. The world hates masculinity, while masculinity is building the world. Like, literally, the school system, right? Because I just want to break this. I don't want to swear in any videos, but I just want to break this stupid, ridiculous idea that the school system makes us successful. It does not. It does not. It does not work. It's outdated. It's a scam. Unless you want to be an engineer or a doctor, it is a scam. And I'm telling you this from personal experience. I'm telling you this from things that I've learned, right? Like, think about it. Think about everything. Like, me and you, we talk about, like, in self-improvement, in the self-improvement community, what we talk about, what is actually required for like success, for actual real world success. And think about what is said in the school system. What does the school system say? The school system always says, like, we've always heard this in school, me and you, bro, don't fail. Failure is so bad, don't fail, right? There's only one right answer. Don't communicate, just find the answer on your own. Don't copy anyone, because that's wrong, right? Don't listen to the rules, don't question anything. Don't take risks, risks are bad. Never question authority. Like, everything they teach you in school is literally the exact opposite of success. Like, what do we talk about in self-improvement community for success, right? Me and you, what do I talk about on this channel for success? And literally everyone, like Hamza and Alex Hormozi and Charlie Morgan, what do all these people say about success? Failure is good. Failure is your attempts. Failure is learning. There are tons of right answers to a problem, right? You have to communicate with other people to find, you need other people to succeed, right? We always say that, and we always say, like, the best way and the easiest way literally to be as successful as someone else is to just copy them. While the school system literally says, like, copying is the worst thing ever. You know, we say take risks, we say question everything, critically think about everything, because we don't know anything that is true 100% in the world, right? This is what real world success is all about. Real world success is all about solving a problem, all of us together, you know, finding different solutions to a problem, copying each other. If someone is successful, copying him, learning from our failures, taking risks. That's what actually creates success. And the thing is, if we look at, like, the most brilliant minds of the entire world, the greatest people in all of history, The richest people in the world, the billionaires, the emperors, the conquerors, every great people in the entire history of the world, right? They all hated school. Look at Elon Musk, the richest man, not even in the world, in history right now. Like 412 billion at the time. He says that he said multiple times in interviews that there is literally no need to have a college degree. It's useless. A college degree is useless. And a school system and learning from school is basically useless. Bro, the device in your hand right now, the device you're watching this video in your hand, right, literally has all of the information known to humanity and mankind we have ever known in all of history. Everything in the world. You can know everything, you can learn everything in the entire world from the device you're literally holding between your two hands. Like, isn't that fascinating? And the thing is, we still learn stupid things from the school system. We still learn the same things. Now, I'm not saying like math and physics and science and English and all these things are useless. No, of course they are very useful. But the thing is, you don't need to pay all this money to learn these basic things where you can learn them for free from your device. Like, literally, the device that is between your hands has everything humans have ever known across the entire history of man. Like, that is just mind-blowing to me. And the thing is, like, I know, like, our parents will never understand this because they were, of course, conditioned from they were younger that this is the only way. And I'm gonna be honest, it kind of was. Like, you know, going to school and getting a degree and things like that, it kind of was because there wasn't really like the internet, and there wasn't really like business wasn't really that big, and entrepreneurship wasn't really like big. But right now, there are so many people who became millionaires and even billionaires without even graduating from college, without even finishing high school. Like Iman Gadzi, for example. Now, a few days ago, I finished the biography of Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson, which is an amazing biography, by the way. Like, Steve Jobs, like, we look at Apple right now, like, it's a multi-trillion-dollar company, like one of the biggest countries in the entire world, right? If not the biggest, right? And the one who invented it and created it and the founder of it was Steve Jobs. And we look at Steve Jobs' life, and Steve Jobs literally, he said that, like, in his biography it is written that he dropped out of university. He didn't continue his education, right? And if we go back in time, if we go back to Steve Jobs dropping out of university, everyone will look at him like, yeah, you're stupid, right? You dropped out of university, you have no future, like, what the hell are you gonna do, right? You're screwed, right? He's screwed. All he did was he took a calligraphy class, which is basically like learning about fonts and like writing, basically, and typing, like beautiful fonts, like fonts that look good, like letters that look good, basically. That's what Steve Jobs learned in his calligraphy class. And the thing is, right, he went with Steve Wozniak, his friend, to create Apple, and Apple, of course, became this massive thing, and he launched the Macintosh and then the iMac and the iPhone and all these things. But the thing is, he followed what he loved, which is creating software and computers and things like that, and he loved calligraphy. He loved that calligraphy class, and he learned it. Now, at that time, it didn't mean anything at all, right? Learning calligraphy at that time, like, what the hell are you gonna do with calligraphy? That's not gonna pay a penny. But then that calligraphy class became Apple fonts. Like, if you're using an iPhone right now, you're probably familiar with Apple fonts. Steve Jobs always said, like, even the brand Apple is all about thinking different, right? And he has this amazing quote, which is, the people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. I repeat that. The people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. It's not about going to school or going to college or any of that BS. It's about the infinite money equation, like I've always said. And I know, like, I'm not rich right now. I don't have any money right now. I'm not popular right now. All I have is like 31 subscribers at the moment. Like, you should not listen to me, by the way, right? But all I'm saying is, like, what I've learned from Alex Hormozi and Charlie Morgan and Iman Gadzhi and all these people, like, of course I'm humbled that I'm not like successful at the point, but the infinite money equation is, all you need is value, which is solving a problem. You need leverage, which is leveraging either through code or content or capital, which is money, and consistency. All you need is these three pillars. And if you look at any millionaire, any billionaire, any future trillionaire, because there will be trillionaires in the future, they all made all of their money from this three-step equation: value times leverage times consistency. Value is just solving a problem, right? Solving a problem. Like let's take Elon Musk, for example. Elon Musk, that's like the value part. He solves the biggest problems in the entire world, like the problem for having electric cars. That's solving a massive problem because of, you know, climate change and things like that. The problem of literally going and living into Mars, you know, launching rockets. The problem of giving over 3 billion people access to internet using Neuralink, right? So he solves the biggest problems in the entire world, which are, some of them are the ones that I listed right now, but there are even more, right? And he leverages them. So value is solving problems, he solves problems, and he leverages them through 3 ways. There are 3 ways to leverage, which are content, code, and capital. Capital, he always reinvests the money into Tesla and SpaceX and Neuralink and all these companies. So that's money, reinvesting money, leveraging. Code, buying Twitter, right? Making, you know, Grok AI, right? Doing these software programs builds massive amounts of leverage. And content, like, why do you think Elon Musk is showing up on all these podcasts of like Lex Fridman podcast, or like making content, or like making like dance videos or dancing at Tesla, or like showing off his products? Because he understands that content is the most powerful form of leverage. Value, he solves problems. Leverage, he basically does that problem to millions and millions of people, billions even of people. And the third thing is consistency, and Elon Musk has been doing business for 30 years straight now. That's the equation. You don't have to go to school, you don't have to go to college, it's a total waste of time. Value, leverage, consistency. That's it. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, I looked at the history of the school system because I wondered, like, why did I always get kicked out of class? Like, why does that always happen? Why do you always have to follow orders? Why is everything in school the opposite of what actually happens in success? And I honestly got shocked. Like, I got shocked, and it made total sense to me. Let me just break down the history of school, bro. You know, bro, why school was created? So allow me to give you a little history lesson, right? So school was created in the 1800s by the Germans, I believe, yeah. And they basically created school to produce obedient factory workers. Basically, if you don't know, like in the 1800s, there was this revolution which is known as the Industrial Revolution, which is basically like there was tons and tons of like machines that were created and tons of factories that were created all around the world. So factory owners, who are very wealthy, by the way, and governments and business owners, needed people to run these factories and needed people to work for them and needed obedient workers. So what they did was, the Germans, they had this problem, which is they needed obedient workers to go and work in their factories and work these machines, right? Because they had all these big machines, they needed tons and tons of workers, right? And what they did was they created school, basically, but it was very, very harsh. They had to listen to orders, and if they didn't listen to orders, they got like beat up. They had to sit still. They didn't have to speak in class. They could never speak in class. They had to follow the routine, follow the schedule, do everything as they're told, never question anything. And if they go question, they will be punished. If that doesn't sound like school, I don't know what does, but let me just continue. And they basically started school, the Germans. And then came a man, his name is Hurrak Man, I believe, yeah. And Hurrak Man went to the Germans and he saw, they created all these factory workers using school, which it wasn't even called school, it was kind of like a campaign to train workers, basically, and it was known like that. But then this man, Hurrak Man, right, came, no pun intended, right, took this like ideology of school, basically, and brought it to the United States. And then the United States had school. But the thing is, if we compare school at that time from 225 years ago, right, or 200 years ago, we would see absolutely no difference. And the thing is, like, we see that, like, for example, the phone. If we look at a phone from 200 years ago, and a phone from today, there's a massive difference. You compare the iPhone to the phone by Graham Bell, right? It's like a massive difference. If we compare if we compare like a car, for example, like the very first car to like Mercedes and BMWs and Porsches now, massive difference, right? If we compare like anything, like houses, for example, houses didn't have that good lighting, they didn't have like toilets, right? Houses, they weren't that great, but now houses have like this modern look to them. They have lights, they have well-functioning toilets, right? So everything in the world has evolved, right? All right, because of innovators, basically. If we look at even like clothes from 200 years ago and clothes today, they're different because people innovate. People, and especially people who don't go to school, but that's like a side note, but people innovate and evolve things over time, right? But the thing is, if you try this, bro, if you want to try this, go to Google and Google school from the 1800s or school in the start or something like that, school in the beginning, or classroom, like the first classroom. You will notice it is the exact same thing as today. It's the exact same thing. Like, kids sit in classes, they have to sit still, they have to raise their hand when they want to speak, even when they want to relieve bodily functions, when they want to go to the bathroom, which is absolutely insane, right? Like, there is literally no difference. Teacher is speaking in front of the board and all of the kids are sitting still, and if you want to do something, you raise your hand. The same exact class, it's just the only difference is like it's colored, and it's colored, right? Like it was in black and white, now it's colored. That's the only difference between a class like in 200 years ago, right? But the thing is, there is literally no difference in something like the school system, while the entire world has changed and evolved. As the core of the school system is still the same. It is still the same thing. The core of the school system is still the same today. It is still the same thing. The people at the top, right? And I don't know who they are, but the people at the top, the top 1%, right? They don't want people who think. They don't want people who innovate. They don't want people who take risks, who change the world. All they want is people who listen to the rules, who it honestly saddens me, like people who listen to commands and don't question authority, and it saddens me, especially with men. Like, we as men are supposed to, we have this masculine energy that God gave us. We are supposed to be risk takers. We are supposed to invent and create. You have this beautiful energy. Like, people mistake masculine energy as like this toxic thing. It's not toxic at all. Masculine energy, it's a very beautiful energy. It's all about innovation and creation and building things and creating things. The school system just, puts that down, puts it down and down and down. No. You can't be masculine here. You have to be feminine. And it saddens me the same way with women, because this is even sadder for women. I'm gonna be honest. Like, we as men, we know the truth now, and if we look at the statistics, and it's very sad, but women do way better than men academically, right? They get way better grades academically in like school and college and university and things like that. And this makes total sense, because women, and I'm talking generally here, at least like feminine women, I don't even know like how to call it these days, but women, and I don't want to argue with anyone, but women are, they're submissive, right? They listen to the commands. I'm not saying all women, but I'm saying a lot of women, or most women, right? Because I don't want any problems. But most women, they listen to the commands, they listen to orders more than men. And the school system and even university, they reward those who listen to the commands, those who sit still, raise their hand if they want to speak, they don't question anything, they don't take risks, they don't do like me or you, they don't joke, they don't get kicked out. Because those people who joke, who get kicked out, who make noise, first of all, they bother the teacher, and the teacher already has like cortisol that's through the roof. But actually, I think the school system doesn't even benefit teachers, which is another thing I'll get later into the video. But the second thing is because they are so afraid of these kids, because these kids, these masculine kids who have like great, happy, joyful personalities, they laugh, they even play fight with each other. They're masculine kids, right? Raised traditionally well. They cannot be factory workers. These kids are the kids who run the businesses. These are the kids who build and innovate and take risks. Like, why is the statistic, the very famous statistic of 80% of A students work for C students? Because grades have absolutely nothing to do with how successful me and you are going to be in the real world. Success has to do with the principles of success, which are value, leverage, and consistency, the infinite money equation, which I talk about all the time. I just get back to the point, right? Like, women, if we talk about this, like in history, women used to always follow their man, right? And they did work, but they worked with their man, like on like a farm or on like a project or something like that. Like, their main thing that they used to do is they used to take care of the kids. Now, they did work in like farms and things like that, but they weren't like engineers or doctors or things like that. But now the school system tells women, hey, if you listen to our orders, if you listen to what we tell you, you will become a doctor, you will become an engineer. And the thing is, women are humans. They are humans. They want a feeling of importance. They want to feel important. And when someone tells them, you're going to be an engineer, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a pharmacist, that makes women feel important. And they stay in the system. It's fucking sad, man. And they stay in the system and they work these jobs, and in the end they just hate their life, right? just sad. Women got the worst rap out of this all because women hate these jobs. They don't want to be doctors. They don't want to be engineers or lawyers or whatever. They don't want this. Or at least feminine women, right? Feminine women don't want this. Feminine women want to be good husbands good wives to their husbands. They want to take care of their kids, right? That's actually what makes women happiest according to studies. It's sad, it's sad. And the thing is, especially here in the Middle East, if you don't get a school, if you don't get a education, or you don't get a college degree, you're viewed as literally stupid. You're literally stupid. You don't know anything. They assume that you don't even know how to read and write. Well, you know how to read and write, but they just assume that it's sad. Honestly, it's sad. And the thing is, it saddens me because billions, not even millions, billions of people, girls and boys, who were born for something greater, who were born to live the best lives they can live, are conditioned in this I'm gonna say it, but even satanic system that destroys their creativity, destroys their values, destroys everything, destroys their authenticity, their personalities as humans, and convinces them that this is what they need for success. If that's not from the devil, I don't know what is, honestly. But we need to always remember, school was originally created to, first of all, create obedient workers, people who listen to orders and don't question authority, and money, of course. Just we look at how much college degrees inflate and how much student debt is in the world. There's over $1 trillion of student debt. That's how crazy it is. $1 trillion, it's an insane number. There are over $1 trillion in school debt. I think just in the US, I think that was the statistic, right? Just in the US, $1 trillion of school debt. And it doubly inflates every single year. Every single year, a college degree becomes double the price and it becomes lower in value. So if someone really understands business and investments and things like that, he would tell you that's a terrible investment. Another thing, and the thing is basically they do this for money. They don't care about teaching people. They don't care about people learning or whatever, people doing any of that. All they care about is making money and having workers so they can make money for them. That's all they care about. And the school system, when I discovered this, it was really sad for me. I just imagined the billions and billions of young girls and boys not knowing how evil this system is. It's a corrupt system by destroying boys' masculinity, by punishing them and giving them detention, suspension, just like what happened to me, for displaying purely masculine traits. And destroying girls' femininity by making them work these really long hourly jobs that don't even pay enough money, that women actually hate, that destroy their mental health. It's just an evil system. It's an evil system. So what's the plan, right? What will I do? What you can take from this? Now there's another statistic that will really give us hope, is that there are way more men than there are women who are entrepreneurs, billionaires, millionaires, risk takers, and very, very successful people. I'm not saying like successful in like the financial sense. I'm not saying like success, right? So the plan, at least what I'm gonna do, right? And you can learn from this, right? My parents forced me to go to school and college. I'm being 100% straight up. My parents forced me to do that, and I don't blame my parents at all. And I love my parents to the end. And I understand them and I sympathize with them, because I know that they were conditioned that this was the only way, and their parents, my parents' parents, were conditioned that this was the only way, and my grandparents were conditioned that this was the only way. So of course my parents are going to think that this is the only way. But I'm going to break this generational cycle, because it's not the only way in today's time. There's a sidewalk, a slow lane, a fast lane, and I'm in the fast lane. You are in the fast lane. We are not in the slow lane. Alright, so all I'm gonna do is just go to school from 7 till 3, come back, meditate, journal, record a video, eat lunch, work out, you know, yeah, basically, yeah, and then read and then go to sleep. Same thing, self-improvement, content, value times leverage, consistency. And I have so much hope that if I actually do this, and if I keep recording these videos every single day while improving myself, so increasing my value and increasing my leverage every single day, consistently of course, I will break out of the system and I will break out of the matrix. And the same thing for you, bro. Like if you keep improving your value in whatever niche you pick, right? If you keep improving your value and you leverage it through content, which is honestly like the way that most of us can do, basically, because we're not like the best programmers, but through content, basically. So for example, if you want to teach people about like football, for example, all you need to do, you don't need school, you don't need university, you don't need anything. All you need to do is increase your value in your niche, which is basically football. So you practice football every day, I'm talking about English football, right? Not American football. You practice football every day, you train every day, workout, you train on like the skills and you watch like Messi and Ronaldo and all these guys. You train on all these things. And of course you learn about football, like what are the best skills, what are the best shooting techniques, what are the best body feints, what are the best step overs and skills and things like that, right? What are the best, recovery techniques, things like that. So you improve and you learn. So that's the value part. And then you leverage that. That's all you need to do. You just leverage it. You grab your phone, you record videos, preferably every day, about solving a specific problem. So a video about how I, for example, like my 3 best skills that beat any defender. And you talk about your story, just like this channel. You talk about your story, like these 3 skills, like a body feint, a step over, and like a chop. Like once I started doing these skills, never were defenders able to pass me. And these are the 3 skills that work the best for me. That's it. And you do that consistently, you are literally guaranteed success. You don't need school, you don't need anything. Just do something that you love, that you genuinely love. Build your value in it. So do it and learn about it, value, and leverage it. Leverage it to content. Teach other people about it. And then you sell a course or you sell a coaching program or something like that. Boom, you're a millionaire. It's that simple. It's just that people are unaware and unable to do the work. Yeah, that's That's the school systems. That's it. And honestly, like I remember, like when me and my brother were younger, when we were like 7 or 8, when we were like very very young, my brother used to always tell me, and he was very right. Like this school system is terrible. Like look at all these successful guys, you know, going after the school system. But unfortunately, like he forgot all of that. But I remembered it. I remembered it. That the school system is a scam. This is not me saying my opinion. This is based on historical facts. It's not about success. It's about creating obedient workers. And think about what they teach you. They never teach us about money. They never teach us about, you know, how to deal with stress. They never teach us about how to manage our time. Like they always say, use your time wisely. Okay, how do I manage my time? They don't teach us that at all. Which is literally one of the most important skills in all of success, creating a routine and managing your time. So it's a corrupt system, honestly, and the thing that I want to say is if you're on this path, like I always say at the end of my videos, we're in this together and we will make it. We will make it, bro. We will make it. I'm telling you, we will make it. Like we will escape this system. We will save all of the generations forward. All of your kids and my kids and your wife and my wife and our grandkids and our grandkids won't have to worry about school or getting bullied or getting kicked out of the class or getting rejected or tolerating how to survive a business or how to balance a business with school. They don't have to handle all of that because me and you as masculine men, we already handled all of that. We already went through all of the hard times. We already went through all of that pain. And hard times create strong men, and strong men create good times. Me and you will create good times for at least the next 3 generations. Alright? And as always, we're in this together and we will make it. Peace, take care.